Howdy, folks. Howdy. Hope everyone is doing splendid today. Thanks for the pre-notice dingle. Thanks very much. Finn, good to see you. Nice and early here. Same with Kieran. Same with Jack. I'm not too bad, Jack. Thanks very much. I'm doing alright. I was slightly unprepared. Not professional. Not good enough. Will be better for tomorrow morning. Grand final. So, silly me. Well, there's a poll in the chat. Let me know your votes. If you've got a score prediction, let me know. Evening, Mr. Pepsi. Did you catch any of the game last night? Yeah, I watched it all last night. Tricky game. The wind causing a bit of shenanigans, but I think Wigan dealt with it fairly well. Both sides very gritty, very hard working through the middle. Defensively, not allowing too many easy breaks. There was a couple here and there. There's a couple times where Lee got plenty of offloads to extend the plays. A couple times where Wigan looked a bit more threatening with line breaks, but it wasn't like a ridiculous amount. A lot of grind back and forth. Bailey Hodgson is an amazing kick returner. He is, actually. He is. I have talked about him before being a little bit vulnerable under the high ball, which he has been in recent months. But he was very clean yesterday. And, yeah, the returns off the back of it. I think he's second in the league for meters. He's just behind Lockie Miller, that's it. So Hodgson is actually second for meters. But yeah, it's just, I think when he's got the ball in hand, he's really dangerous. He can extend plays a little longer, he can gain those extra meters. He can break lines. Just sometimes under the high ball, couple drops. But ball in hand, I think he's a real threat. This without bias, you see Saints winning here. I think the matchup helps Saints. I still think KR are the better side. I just think the matchup does still look pretty good for Saints. I have backed KR to win, Jack, by about, I think I had them winning by 4 points, something like that. Actually, I think 18-12 was the score I went with. But, yeah, as I say, the matchup looks good. Saints have a good pack. Defensively, they are solid. It's just in possession. So, the two biggest issues for KR recently, number one is errors. If they have too many, they keep turning the ball over to Saints in good territory. As much as KR are a great defensive side, Saints aren't really a great attacking side. If Saints are just on it today, or maybe KR slightly off it defensively, it's a numbers game. You can't just keep gifting Saints territory inside your own red zone or inside the midfield. You can't be doing that. And given that Saints have a big forward pack, it'll be harder to work the ball up the field. Even if you keep them out, you've got to work the ball up the field. And the other one is missed tackles. Whether that be resulting in line breaks and making it easier for Saints to actually break the line, that could be one. Or it could just be getting offloads, making players miss tackles, and basically getting second phases for Saints to do damage in like little bits here and there. So, yeah. Errors and missed tackles have been an issue for KR in the last few weeks. So, if they clean that up, they'll be fine. But if there's a lot of them, Saints have a chance. Plus, with their defence, it's still decent. It's not been as good recently, but it's still good. And then we'll have to see with their attack. Three-stand stadiums are probably worse for one game, or one for a game like this, and weather possibly. Should last week happen again? I don't see Rovers putting 9 men around one player and missing the tackle. Probably not. I don't think they get as flustered in situations like that. I think they're usually a little bit more calm. You just got the new Leeds Rhinos shirt. Very nice. Very nice. You got 12-10 to Saints, but you're not super sold on it. Understandable. If we're playing through everything, including the kitchen sink, you'll be happy, even with a loss. That's fair enough. That's what everyone asks for, is the effort, regardless of result, is they just want to see the effort as a bare minimum. Howdy, Joshua. Welcome back. Good to see you, sir. Again, there's a poll in the live stream chat. Let me know who you think is going to win. If you've got an exact score prediction, let me know. I've already started doing international content. Posted a Fiji official squad before. God, barely anyone's seen it. Bloody hell. Damn. It is what it is. Right, what did I go with? I can't remember my Wigan League score, actually, what I went with exactly. 22-14 was my Wigan score. My score for this was 24-12 to KR. Okay. Time's the grand final tomorrow. It's 9:30 kickoff. Yes, 9:30 kickoff. I'll be streaming from 9:15. You got Hull KR to win. If you're Wigan vs KR in the final, fair enough. Night out was fine. Very chilled. Decent meal. Couple drinks after. Nothing crazy. And then, yeah, all good. All good. I thought it was supposed to be out tonight as well, but no, not the case. It's next Saturday, but I can't remember what date the grand final is next week. I don't know if it is the Saturday or the Sunday, so I'll have to see. The Derek video went well. You mean the one I posted on TikTok? Is that the one you mean? Because it did. It certainly did. There's a few people saying it's not cancelled. It's like, I know, it was a little bit of a hook. All you had to do was watch for 10 seconds and they would have seen me say, no, it's not going to be cancelled. So, Super League Finals is the 11th, right, okay. Well, it's normally 5:30, isn't it? So I could still go out afterwards. Why don't we get this? Okay. See if Michael Lewis turns up in a big game. We'll see. I think he's turned up in plenty of big games. I think it's difficult for some players to be their usual selves. I have also put together, or I'm pretty sure I'm happy with my England squad for the Ashes. So very soon, I think as soon as the season's done, I'm going to make my England and Australia Ashes squad videos. I'm pretty sure I know what I want. And there's going to be... There'll be like one element in particular people would just straight up disagree with, which I get, but squad is announced Monday after grand final. Well, I got to get in there on Sunday. I'll get in there on Sunday with my own, and then, or I could prep it during the week, actually. Get ahead of it. I just want to double check I got the right squad for Saints. Because I did make a couple changes. Oh. That's wrong. Because that's not right. Hey? Hey? Funny that. Look at me making jokes. Okay. Right, they're going to the team list, so I will in a second. Let's turn this at wrong to right. Beautiful. All right, then. Just on that Derek situation, why does he do all the PR for Lee? Don't see Mr. Think he'll doing it for FC or same for Rovers owner. My My opinion with what Derek's doing, and people can disagree with me on this one, I understand he's vocal. You know, some people will be more vocal than others in any sort of space, in any industry. But I've said to some people before, I think the kind of role that Derek's trying to take on, I think it's somewhat intentional, is the villain. I think he's trying to personally take on the role of the villain, that people kind of dislike him just to create some kind of noise. So he's happy to take the brunt of things. He just wants storylines, more things to be put out there. So he's happy to do more stunts to put things or give things a spotlight. So I think he's intentionally trying to be a villain to create a story. That's what I think. Right, they were just going through Saints' team list and then they play an ad. Interesting. I know that. What are they doing? What are they doing? It's back on. Thought I was watching NFL for a second then. Alright then. I'll go through the team lists. And hopefully there's no ads at play. Shouldn't be. Anyway, in the backs for Hull KR they have Morg, Davies, Hiku, Gildart, Burgess, Lewis and May. The forwards include Sue, Litton, Warrior-Hargreaves, Hadley, Batchelor and Minchella. The bench is Luckley, Whitbread, Martin and Broadbent. And the 18th man, is Tanganoa. In the backs for St Helens, they have Saylor, Benison, Robertson, Whitley, Cross, Wellesby and Lomax. The forwards include Walmsley, Clark, Lees, Sirenen, Wright and Knowles. The bench is Mbai, Bell, Delaney and Stevens. And 18th man is Wingfield. Okay. Well, no Percival. I think that's a big loss there. He would have been huge for like extra metres. Possible breaks down that left edge of the field. I'm not sure if they've switched Robertson onto that side or if they've just put Whitley there. I think they've just put Whitley there, which is fine. Don't mess up with Robertson's side of the field. Leave him where he is. Oh, I'm dropping frames apparently. Interesting. We've got 22 votes, 68% say that Hull KR is going to win this one. If you've not voted, let me know. Let me know. If you could also leave a like on the stream, helps it to get out there to more people. That would be great. Thank you. You want Hull to win because you're a Leeds fan? Okay. Fair enough, Tommy. Fair enough. Alright, I will end this poll. Right then. Home crowd is very vocal at the moment. They're ready. They want it. They want it. Alright then, folks. Any second, we're about to get underway. Hate Rovers, that's a half-decent song that they sing. Well, you can nick it if you want. I won't tell anyone. Get down to Goodison Park. Woo! Everton never shone so brightly. And we are underway. It will be Saints that kick to the home side. Hull Kingston Rovers and Jared Warrior-Hargreaves will take the first carry up towards the 20. Over on the right edge of the field, May will hand the ball off to Burgess on his left. Oh, that's Davies, on his left. Making a metre or two. Jez Litton waits at dummy half. Slow to play the ball there. Hands it off to Petehiku next. He spins and is then taken to ground. Unless it was Sue, because they've got the same colour hair and the same hairstyle. No, it was Petehiku. And next carry up towards the 40. Jez Litton with the scoop. May on his left. Now to Sue. With the low socks. Broadbent used to go to your rugby club. Very nice. Very nice. Left to Mikey Lewis on the last. They do this plenty of times. Sailor underneath it, collects it on his own 20. Eats up a few more metres through centre field, and that's the first minute of the game done. Lomax at dummy half. Hands the ball off to Cross. Stopped immediately by a wall of Hull Kingston Rovers defenders. Two of the front rowers, plus Jeslett helping out. Or the entire front row getting stuck in there. Next carry from Benison. Not making too much ground currently, Saints, but there's a scoot from Darryl Clark, making about 6 or 7 metres. Lomax will hand the ball off to Knowles, who then switches back to Alex Walmsley. I had a thought about Alex Walmsley, by the way. In my head, he retired from international. Does anyone know if that's true? Because I want him to be in the England squad. But does anyone know if that's true? Because he wasn't part of last year's squad. I think it was due to injury. And the year before that, I don't think he was in it either. And he wasn't in the World Cup squad. So, is that because of injuries at the time, or did he retire from international? Because that's what's in my head. But I don't know if that's true. Anyway, Hull KR in possession, 2 minutes gone. Third tackle. Warrior Hargreaves with the next carry. Slips over on the 40. He's now with Minchella. Right to May. Chips over the top. There's a decent chase here from Hiku. Can he get the bounce? It is more towards Sailor. Collects it. He is under pressure though. Skips past one. Option on his right if he wants to use it. He does. Benison is then stopped behind his own 10. Great kick from May. Great chase. They keep Saints pinned back here. Robertson with the first carry. Takes it over the 10. Just over 2.5 gone. Wellsby will scoot from dummy half. Hands off to Whitley on his right. Oh, that is right to right. I won't do that all day. Don't worry about it. Knowles with the next carry. Straightens up. And he'll play this for Darryl Clark. 25 out from his own try line in a second. Now with Walmsley. Hadley trying to get a hold of him, but he skips past him. Good metres from Walmsley down the right edge. Don't know what it's like in Warrington, but it's extremely windy in Hull. I think it's been kind of bad today. In patches, but not crazy. Not really been outside today. Not been listening to the wind either. So I'm not too sure. I do apologise. May hands it off to Hiku down the right edge of the field. 3.5 minutes gone, up towards his own 40. May now with Batchelor. Sirinen and Knowles. Getting a hold of him defensively. It's now with Minchella in centre field. Left to May. Then to Lewis. Good hands down the left edge. Burgess with a bit of room to run. Support the inside from Mikey Lewis. Back inside. Slapped down by Robertson. Into the back of Burgess' legs. Collected by Sailor. Puts an arm onto the touchline. What's this going to be called as? I think it'll be KR ball, actually. Really good hands. So I think it's slapped backwards by Robertson. But is then knocked on by Sailor. So I think it's going to be Robin's ball here. Yeah, so KR with a fairly early break there. Good movement down the left edge of the field. 4.5 minutes gone. It's a scrum for the Robins. 10 metres out between the sticks. Mikey Lewis will feed the ball into the scrum in a second. So they pack the scrum. The ball is fed in. Lytton, right to Mikey Lewis. Pops it up to Hiku. And he's going to be slammed into the ground 5 metres out, right to the posts. Lewis waits. 5 minutes gone. Left to Sue. Doesn't really make any progress there. Not much to make anyway, but still right at the posts. Left to Warrior Hargreaves, straightens up, takes the carry, brought down roughly in the same spot. Or same distance away in front of the right post. Lytton, looking right, goes right to May. Out the back to Morg. St. Helens shifting across quickly enough and well enough to get it shut down. 2 tackles to go in this set for Hull Kingston Rovers. Over on the right edge of the field, it's now in centre field with May. Fakes the switch back, then switches back to Jared Warrior Hargreaves. 5.5 gone, about 12 metres out. In centre field, last tackle for the Robins. Left to May. Lewis out the back. 3-on-3 here, just pops up to Gildart, trying to crash through the line. The ball comes loose, it is popped up to right. And that's going to be a mistake there from the Robins, but they turn over the ball in great territory. Ain't too windy near Leeds? Well, that's alright. Hopefully the grand final's not too crazy. I want both teams to be able to express themselves in however way they like. Just over 6 minutes gone. St. Helens with another start of a set inside their own 10 and a lot of work to do. 6 minutes 20 on the clock. Nearly a high shot from Warrior Hargreaves onto Robertson, but that's all good. Clark. Walmsley down the right edge. So Hadley shifting across quickly there to help out Mikey Lewis in the 1v1. There's a clear game plan. I mean, that's just acting there. Jesus Christ. It's with Lomax. Across to Sailor. Bit of depth there for Saints. Shifting it down the left edge. Wellesby. Oof, now with Whitley smashed into by Hiku. Stopped on the 30. Plays it for Sirenen. Last tackle of the set. It's with Wellesby. Having to shift. Saints needed to offload the ball. They know a thing or two about this. And it's Sirenen with the kick. Honestly, I've seen worse. Morg returns it up towards the 40. And a few extra metres as well. Still going. Eventually stopped. A few metres shy of the halfway line. Just over 7 minutes gone. Is now with Burgess. Up towards the halfway line. 7.5 gone. There's also 6 again for the Robins here. Left to Hadley. Smashed into by Lomax. Brought down on the halfway line. That's a big hit. Lytton on his right to Warrior Hargreaves. Straight into Lees and Clark. Good tackling though from Saints. Lytton on his right to Minchella. Cuts back towards his left. Stopped about 35 metres out from the try line. Nearly 8 minutes gone. 2 tackles to go for Hull Kingston Rovers. Right to May. And then back to Morg. Then across to Hiku. Trying to get around Whitley. Just slows him down enough for Wellesby to get there. Near the right touchline. Just a few inches away. A push into Wellesby's face from Hiku there. Well, there's a kick on the last. Collected by Sailor in the back right corner. And Saints trapped in the corner again. Damn. Some ING news. Keithley been given 0 points. Really? Why is that? That can't be right, surely. Oh, Benison, slow to get up here. He's not in a good way. Was he hit high? I didn't see anything there. Oh, wow, okay. I don't get why the crowd's booing. Like, it's clearly struggling to play the ball. Alex Walmsley not in the 32-man squad. I don't know if it's that squad that's the one that will be dwindled down to a 20-something man squad. I don't know if it's that one in particular or if some outside of the squad will make it in. I'm not sure. There was nothing too malicious there. There's 8 minutes 57 on the clock. We're about to get underway in a second. And Benison's going off for HIA. Saints could really do with him passing that. Especially given the loss of Percival. They don't want to have to shift too much around in the back line. Lees with the next carry over the 10. It's a lot of work for Saints to do in the first 9 minutes. Clark on his left to Sirenen. Straightens up. Makes about 4 metres. Out the back to Wellesby. Shoots it right to Lomax. Under pressure. There's space down the right edge here. It's with Wright. Cuts back inside. They need to get an offload here. And they simply turn the ball over to Hull KR 15 metres out. Mikey Lewis, short side left to Gildart. The Saints have just been pinned back inside their own 10 for a full set. At least get to the kick, lads. At least get to the kick. You got to make that happen. You've got to. Mikey Lewis, 10 metres out. Straightens up. Now 5 metres out. Plays the ball left of the post for Jez Litton. Pops it up to Sue on his right. Trying to crash over. He stops a metre short of the try line. Last tackle for the Robins. 10 minutes gone. Plays it left of the post. Litton kicks through. Hadley chases. Wellesby's there. Takes it over the try line up towards the 10. Gets a quick play of the ball for Saylor. He will scoot. Eats up about 5 metres. So a long way to go for Saints again. A lot of work to do. Robertson up towards the 20. Could do with something. They just need to get to the kick. If they can just get up towards the 40. Searing with the carry up towards the 30. Still 2 tackles to go. Get to the 40. Get to the kick. Hopefully find the corners. Get it over someone's head if they can. And then just defend well off the back of it. Maybe a 40-20 at some point would be massive. But Mbai kicks from just behind the 40. Bounces on the 30, up towards the 20, and Burgess already up towards the 30, and close to the 40 as well. So, at least they weren't trapped inside their own 10 for a full set this time. 11 minutes on the clock, Gildart with the next carry for the Robins, taking it just over the 40. Second tackle. Lewis. Now Davies through centre field up towards halfway. 3 tackles to go. Jez Litton on his right to Warrior Hargreaves. Straight into Wormsley. Siren in there to help out. So is Clark. Just inside Saints half. 11.5 minutes gone. Litton. Left to Minchella. Out the back to May. Fakes the switch back to Hadley. Trying to get an offload. Gets one to Sue. He's then wrapped up immediately but gets an offload. Minchella room to run through centre field. Trying to burst through the line. Offloads to Jez Litton. Kicks the ball through. Tries to chase it. Still going. That is definitely a penalty. Wellesby grabbing onto the shirt. 12 minutes gone. Wellesby grabbing the shirt. There should be at least a penalty. I don't know if there's going to be anything else here. There's the potential of a yellow. I don't know if he'll get one, but sometimes you never know with these. You could say that's a try-scoring opportunity. Even though Wellesby's quick, you could say Litton probably gets there if he doesn't pull him back. What's it going to be?
It's going to be a yellow card. I can't speak. You ballless get Campbell. You dickhead.
Damn. I'm not sure what Wellesby's arguing there, because I think that is a clear foul. It's a big call, but I think it's the right call, in my opinion. That is a try-scoring opportunity. He's close to the try line. He is closest to the ball. He's only gone to ground because he is pulled back. I think that is a try-scoring opportunity right there. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with it. For me, that's a clear try-scoring opportunity. That's clear. So Arthur Morg will go for the 2. Near the left touchline. Where's Norman with the success probability? Where is he? Where's Norman Finkelstein? Oh, there he is. According to my calculations, there is a 71% chance this is converted. Thanks, Norman. Just over 13 minutes gone. The Saints with a man down. The ball is pointed right to the posts. Morg steps up, and the kick looks fine, and it is good. It's going to be 2-0 for the Robins. They have 1 extra man and 2 extra points. So they were already winning the battle through the middle, pinning Saints back. Saints could do with a strong defensive set here, even though they're down a man. If they can keep KR pinned back, that'll be huge. If they can limit KR to 1 try during this 10-minute period, that would be a huge win for Saints. Just got to keep the game in range. That's something that John and Sam talked about, is just keeping the game in range. We saw it against Leeds, that Leeds were the better side for most of the game. It's just Saints, they just kept it close enough. So if they can do the same this time, you never know what's going to happen. But we're back underway, 14 minutes gone. Morg underneath it, hands it off to Sue. Straight into Knowles. And 3 of the big men getting him stopped. 15 out from his own try line. Next carry from Burgess up towards the 20. Saints need to restrict the meters here. Litton. Now Warrior Hargreaves. We've got Sue down in backfield. Back play. Down on one knee. And the rain is belting down. Hadley, not in the game just for me. Hadley with a carry up towards the 40. Sue, maybe something with his ankle? I don't know. Minchella. Oh, there's a hailstorm outside. Sounds pretty bad. Litton on the last tackle, out the back to Mikey Lewis. Kicks from his own 40. Collected by Robertson near the touchline. So I guess he might be playing on the wing at the moment. Just thinking where have they shifted things. Because Robertson's still off for the HIA. Oh yeah, and Bai is on the field. I'm not sure when he came on. When Bai is on the field. St. Helens just short their own 30. Benson HIA, yeah. Simon was 50-50. I get it. I just do think that Litton was in a try-scoring position there. Walmsley with a carry down the right edge. Isolated Mikey Lewis again up towards halfway. Quick play the ball for Darryl Clark. Short side right to Saylor on the last tackle. It's right to right. And he's stopped on KR's 40. Not a great way to end the set. Get to the corners. These short side plays are fine if you've got the numbers. You're already down a man. KR in possession up towards halfway with Hadley. Halfway. They're a man down. They allow KR to start a set in this part of the field. Get to the kick. Honestly. What are you doing? Hiku with half a break down the right edge. Up towards the 30. Eventually stops. 16.5 minutes gone. 3 tackles to go in this set. Morg over on the right. Then on his left to May. Switches back to Warrior Hargreaves. Bumps off and by. Eventually got there. Well done, May. About 24 metres out. Over on the right edge. Litton at dummy half. Goes left to Minchella in centre field. Out the back to May. Out the back to Lewis. Launch it across to Burgess. Room to run down the left edge. Back inside. That look forward to me from that angle. Mikey Lewis is in. And that is a try. First try of the day. Just the angle that it showed. Look forward. I'd have to see a different one. But yeah, that's going to be 6-0 for the Robins with a chance to make it 8. Mikey Lewis with the first try of the day. Let's have a gander at this. Give me a decent angle. Good movement, though, from KR. Good ball across from Lewis to Burgess. Back inside to Lewis. Let's see. Are we going to get a good angle for this? Yeah, that's forward. That's not even momentum. You can tell that leaves the hand forwards. Yeah, it is forward. 18 minutes gone. Okay. 6-0 to KR. So the penalty helping them out there. They can make it 8 though. Kick fairly close to the touchline though. It's not right next to it. A few metres away from it. Morg, successful with the first one, which was tougher. It's about the same distance, actually. It's about the same. Little forward pass, yeah. Just a little bit. And the kick from Morg is looking good. And it is good. Okay. Well, that's going to be 8-0 for the Robins. Alright, there we go. 8-0 for KR. Saints still a man down at the moment. I can't remember how long's left to go. Tommy is back. He's back. Sailor will get us back underway in a second. 19 minutes gone. So the first quarter, nearly done with. Collected on the try line by Burgess. Hands it off to Sue. Smashed into. Delaney's on the field now, so a bit more grit. Bit more punch from Saints up front, I think, now, with Delaney on the field. Litton on the 20. Hands it off to Davies on his right. Eating up a few metres. Right at centre field. Now with Litton at dummy half again. On his left to JWH. Straightens up. Oof. High shot into Lees. Not from Lees, but into Lees. Shenanigans going on here between JWH and Matty Lees. And a kick from behind the 40. 40-20, maybe. Maybe just kept him by Sailor under pressure. And the whistle, has it been blown? It has been blown. There's room for Sailor to run here, but he doesn't know the game's been... it's going to be pulled back. Just put the ball down Knowles, because you can always challenge it. Nah, they won't get the try even if they challenge it. But, yeah, I did think his foot was on the touch, or just in touch initially. Oh, yeah, he might have knocked it forward anyway. I didn't even think about that. I think he's touched it before he's in... I think he's touched the ball before he's in touch, actually. But it is basically a knock-on, which is fair enough. There is a scrum for KR on Saints 20. Lewis will feed the ball in. Litton, right to Lewis. Across to May, trying to get around Whitley. Slows him down enough for him by to get there. He's still going, though. Nearly wanted an offload then. Nearly wanted one. In the back right corner here. Out the back to Mikey Lewis. Then to Sue on his left. Now back towards centre field. He's stopped on the 10. But still right at the post. Litton at dummy half. Goes left to Minchella. Steps off his left. Cuts back towards the right. Takes it over the 10, wants an offload, doesn't quite get one. He's now about 4 or 5 metres out, right at the post. 21.5 minutes on the clock, 3 tackles left. Litton, short side right, pops it up to Batchelor, stopped 4 metres short. Loses a boot there. Litton, left to May, out the back to Lewis, then out the back to Morg. 3 versus 3. Gildart trying to get around the outside of Lomax, but he's wrapped up. Stopped just over the 10. Last tackle. Burgess decides to just carry this ball straight up, stop 5 or 6 metres out, and that's where they'll turn the ball over towards the back left. I don't mind it. Don't mind it. Bellsby will be back on very soon. I think he's coming back on now, actually. Wait, I don't know if you can hear that rain outside, but it is chucking it down. It's absolutely chucking it down. Right. Wellesby's back on the field. So, given that they've been under so much pressure, Saints, and they were just a man down for 10 minutes, they've conceded 8 points in that time, I'd say they'd probably be pretty happy with that. If they could stay 8 points behind at half-time, I think Saints would be very happy with that. Of course, KR would as well. Clean sheet, 8-point lead. I think KR would want another one before half-time. So kicking the last, not too much distance on this. Davies returns up towards halfway. Why did Hull KR get 50-50? I don't know. Venison failed the HIA. Let's put this on his name. That's unfortunate. Don't want teams to be losing players, especially in a semi-final. Right. KR are in good territory at the moment. Let me just get this updated. Alright, there we go. KR, just over 20 metres out. It's now with Hadley through centre field. Stopped about 16 metres out right at the post. Last tackle for the Robins. Lytton. Scoots. Launched it left to Gildart, trying to get around Robertson. Sailor. Couldn't quite stop him. There's a flick onto Burgess. Bit of chirping from Burgess as well, but this will be worth a check. Try giving on field. Video ref will have a look. Of course it'll have a look. But this could be a try for the Robins. I was about to say that Sailor was under a bit of pressure there. Bit of duress. But then suddenly an offload from nowhere. I was flummoxed. Ooh. I've got a feeling that grounding's okay, but like just about okay, but it doesn't look that clean. Ooh. This is tricky. That left hand might just still be on the ball. Okay, his left hand stays on the ball. I think that's a try. Just about. Just about. I think this will be 12 in a second, so I'll just... Yeah, it's nearly a lost ball, but yeah, his hand stays on the ball. All right. Well, there you go. It's going to be 12-0. Now, that is the right call. I don't know if the flick on was forward or not. I can't quite tell whether the offload was forward. Well done me, eventually got there. I'm okay with the offload. It's hard to tell, but the grounding just about clean enough. 24 minutes gone. 12-0 for KR. So I was saying Saints would be okay for 8-0, mainly for like the 2-score game. If it stays 12-0, I think Saints would be happy with that at half-time for a 2-score game. But right now I can't see Saints scoring points. Has Saints had a single play of the ball inside KR's half? I don't know if they have. And if they have, it's less than a set's worth. I don't know. Morg has nailed 2 near the touchline. He's in the same spot again. Morgs will make it 14-0. Make it a 3-score game for the Robins. Steps up, and the kick is wayward this time. It will stay 12-0. So Saints will be okay with that. They just want it to be a 2-score game. 25 minutes gone. It was good work from Gildart in that position. Yeah, I'm okay with the offload there. I'm okay with it. I'm looking for Josh in the crowd. I'm looking for him. Can't see him. Back underway. Burgess collects. Hands it off to JWH. With a strong carry. Saints now back to 13. Need to keep the Robins pin back here. They've got to. Burgess with the next carry just short of his own 20 in centre field. Who scored? It was Burgess. It's now with Minchella. Down the left edge. Straightens up. Takes a carry. Just short of the 30. 26 minutes gone. 3 tackles to go. Reece Martin with the latest carry. Good meters up towards the 40. Lytton on the 4th will go right to Whitbread. Launching it right to Hiku. Good meters. Possible break here. Can he get an offload? Trying to get one. He does. May in support. Does he have any options available? Offloads it to Morg, who drops the ball 15 metres out. Oh, nearly. That could have been another try for the Robins. Very, very nearly. Davies is disappointed there. Good effort from May. Just swings the ball a bit too far behind him. Have you got Rugby League 26? I do. I've only played it 3 times. I've played multiple games, but I've only been on it 3 times. Because I'm not a fan of it. I've been thinking about playing it again recently just to get more of a feel for it and see if it feels any different. Because I do plan to stream a lot more of it in the off-season. But we'll see. Scrum for Saints on their own 10. Sailor, with the first carry of this set, is dragged back a couple metres. He'll play this about 14 out from his own try line. Next carry from Matty Lees up towards the 20. Clark, now with Knowles, wanting to go out the back. They could have done there. They had the depth. They could have done. Shifting it left. Wellsby, trying to get past Hiku. Brings him down, but it's inside KR territory. Go on, Saints. Look at them get up the field. Look at this. They've never been so high up the field. Mbai switches back to Delaney. Stopped on the 40. Last tackle. Clark goes left to Wellsby. Chips the ball towards the back left. Oh, doesn't quite find touch. That's a great kick. The bounce is immaculate. KR right in front of their own try line. They need to add national teams. Oh yeah, they could do. I guess they'll get to that at some point. Maybe for the World Cup next year, they might get to it for then. Let's try to look like a knock on by a pixel. By a pixel, says Tom. I was okay with it. I think his left hand's on the ball the whole time. I get what you mean. But I think it's just on there the whole time. But if you think it's a pixel, find me that pixel. I want to see it. Lytton with a box kick from his own... Was that his 40? Plenty of distance on this. Cross collects it on his own try line. Bloody hell. Saints eventually get KR on their own try line. And then suddenly Saints are playing it behind the 10 again. Shifting it right though. Robertson down the right edge. The ball pops out. Oh my God. This is a rough one for Saints here. Okay, well, Saints are going to challenge. So, Saints knocked on, apparently. That's what they're challenging. Okay, Tom. Okay. Are you watching the Ashes? Yes, Tommy. I'll be streaming Game 1 and Game 3. I'm going to be at Game 2. I don't know how this wouldn't be a knock-on. Finally proper Ashes this year, indeed. Actually, yeah, Lewis is looking at the ball, so if they would say that Lewis is intentionally trying to swipe the ball out, then Saints might be okay with this. Good effort in defeat for the Netherlands versus Ireland today. It's a good seeing the game grow in unexpected areas. Fair, fair. You're at Wembley and Headingley. Well, enjoy. Very nice. I'm not not too excited about the current numbers. Last announced that 45,000 tickets are sold for Wembley, which is still a good number, but for Wembley, it's half the stadium. So they're confident they'll get to 60k. I suppose once the season's done, they'll be putting so much of the advertising budget into the event. As soon as the season's done, they'll be going all out to sell tickets. How can you be blind enough to give a try for a forward pass? Well, I don't know, maybe the angle that it was at just wasn't the right one. Who knows? Okay, Wigan, no matter what, it has been since February. Well, don't forget that Castleford were really good in round 1. Could have been Cass. Could have been Cass. New Leeds kit's decent. I'm not a fan of... If you mean the darker blue with the yellow line down the middle, I'm not a fan of the way the collar looks. I would have preferred that it didn't just have that flat line. It's now with Bell in centre field up towards the 30. About to be 30 minutes gone in this game. Two tackles to go for St Helens. Clark goes left to Knowles. Out the back to Mbai. Then to Wellesby down the left edge. 3-on-2 possibly. Whitley. Then to Cross. Up towards Chaos 40. Plays it for Whitley. Now with Mbai. Then to Lomax. Gets the kick away. Morg underneath it. Collects cleanly on his own 10. And stopped just short of the 20. Saints have got to keep him pinned back here. They've got to be quicker off the mark. That's good defensive line speed to get Burgess stopped on the 20. That's a good start to the set. They've just got to keep that up. Plays it for May. Oh, just telling us about the wind. Thanks, Jenna. Whitbread with the next carry over the 30. KR a few metres shy of their own 40 with 2 tackles to go. 31 minutes on the clock. Shifting it right. May. Caught in a cul-de-sac. Cuts back towards the middle. Gets an offload for Hadley. He's stopped just short of the halfway line. Out the back to Mikey Lewis. Hits the belly of the ball. Could be a swirling one. It's going to bounce once. Straight up, collected by Whitley, hands it off to Wellesby. Then on his right to Saylor, put him under pressure, gets an offload back to Wellesby, and he's stopped on the 20. A couple of decisions that Saints are making here that just aren't helping. Now, KR are doing a great job to keep Saints pinned back. Their execution has been fantastic. There's a couple of decisions here so far from Saints that have just resulted in either turning the ball over inside the midfield or their own territory, or not being able to get the ball further down the field. And there's a mistake here from Bell. It is backwards, collected by Mbai on the 30. 2 tackles to go, 32 on the clock. That look forward to Knowles. He flicks it back. Michael Lewis kicks it on. Shoulder charge there from Wellesby. I'd say that's probably a lot more fair than the... That is... Who scored? Well, you asked that before. It's the same as last time. It has not changed. It has not changed, Tommy. It is the same. So there is a fresh set for Saints here. Clark on his right to Wellesby. Then to Bell across to Lomax. Launch it to Robertson. Trying to get around Burgess. He is wrapped up though. Referees are shocking today. I think they've been fine aside from the forward pass for the first try. But Saints shifting it down the left edge on the last. You've got to get a kick. What are you doing? Saints, what are you doing? Sorry, KR have the ball on halfway. I don't understand this level of stupidity from Saints at the moment. Forward for both tries. The offload I'm not too bothered about, Nathan, but the first one absolutely was forwards. Sailor's knock on when he tries to slap it back inside, you mean? I think basically that's lateral, but looks slightly more forwards than backwards, so I'm not too fussed about that being called as a knock-on, to be honest. Saints have possession on their own 10. Utter stupidity from Saints. Even if it's Cross that has to do it down the left edge, he's got to kick the ball. If he's not going to get an offload, kick the ball. And not just take the tackle on the 40. Saints shifting it right. And a mistake here. There's a kick through. An absolute mess. 5 minutes to go. St. Helens stuck inside their own territory again, trying to shift the ball early in the count, sometimes late in the count. Making mistakes a couple times, sometimes executing fairly well, but hey, this is utter stupidity from Saints. KR have done a great job pinning Saints back. Great job. But a lot of this could be fixed by Saints just getting to the kick, actually kicking the ball. They've got to be cleaner in possession. Scrum for the Robins, 20 metres out. Just over 4 minutes to go. Lytton goes right to Lewis. Almost a bit of space to run through there. Stopped by Sirenen. 11 metres out, right at the post. Plays it for May. Left to Lytton. Switches back to Whitbread. He's going to be stopped just short of the 10. Lytton in centre field. 4 minutes to go. Second tackle. Looking right. But goes left. Switches back to Luckley. He will take this to about 5 metres out. 4 minutes to go. Scoot there from Lytton. Pops it up to Martin on his left. He stopped 2 or 3 metres out left of the post. 2 tackles to go. Lytton. Right to Lewis. Launches it right to May. Shifting right. Switches back to Hiku. Bit of room to run in. Maybe. Hiku trying to crash over. That might be a lost ball there. I think that might be worth a check, actually. What are they saying here? They're saying held up. I think he knocked on. They are going to check it. No try given on field. I think that might have been a knock on. Yeah, it's a lost ball. Yep, that's a knock-on. Leeds vs KO would have been way more competitive. Maybe. Maybe. But, you know, Leeds had to get there, didn't they? So, no try, it is. Saints shouldn't be there. Well, they earned it. So, I can't agree with you on that one, Tommy. They earned it. They got the win. I mean, obviously, you can make the argument about Benison's try. I get that, but you know what I mean. Okay, Saints have a scrum on their own 10. It is left to cross. Just less than 3 minutes to go in this first half. 12-0 for KR. Again, I think Saints would actually be really happy with this. Not happy with how the half's gone overall, because they are being basically dominated at the moment and they've been shocking at times. But they'd absolutely take a 2-score deficit. But I reckon if KR get possession down this end of the field, they could go for one at some point. Knowles out the back to him by, then to Wellesby. Possible break it. Luckily just gets a hand on his jersey. Stops him on the 40. 2 minutes to go. Now with Bell in centre field. Pops up to Knowles and his right, that look forward. Look for an offload maybe. Doesn't quite get one. He plays it. Bit of a back and forth here with Lewis. Left to him by. Then to Wellesby. Kicks from behind halfway. Over the head of Davies, who tracks back but collects it on the 20. Not a great kick there. Not a great kick. 1 minute 40 to go in this first half. May on his left to Morg. Up towards the 30. Minute and a half to go. Davies with the next carry. Or is that Gildart? Might have been. Yes, it was Gildart. Silly me. Now with Martin up towards the 40 down the left edge of the field. 1 minute 10 to go. 2 tackles left in this set for the Robins. Right to Hadley. Out the back to Whitbread. Pops it across to Luckley. Almost a break here. Can he get an offload? He can. May on his right to Morg. Then to Hiku. Up towards St. Helens 40. 1 minute to go. Last tackle. So Saints will get a few plays here in this set. I guess it's worth a go trying to launch it. That left edge actually looks alright for Saints. Lewis goes for one. I like this call. And it is wide. So this will be a 7 tackle set. They probably won't be able to get the full set in there. Good connection. Good connection, but just wide. Mr. Peters, Dingle is not a Leeds fan. Even though he said it in the chat, I know he's not a Leeds fan. Darryl Clark at dummy half. With 10 seconds to go, left to him by. Then to Lomax. Cross to Wellesby. Now Whitley. Then cross. Near the touchline. And he's dragged into touch. Well, there we go. The hooter sounds. That is half time. Well, there we go. KR. In the driver's seat. In full control of this game. Saints will absolutely take this. KR been purely dominant in this. Done a great job offensively and defensively as well. I think the scoreline probably doesn't show the dominance, but they are in control currently. But what are you saying though, Mr. Peters? I do agree with what Dingle's saying. He's just saying it would have been a better game if Leeds was there, which I do agree is a correct statement. I do think if Leeds were there, it would have been a better game, but Saints still earned the chance to play here, which I have no issues with. Second half Saints will come back, never write off the Saints. Well, maybe. They don't really look like scoring. They've not been able to get up the field. They've got to change that. You don't know why Tom Burgess joined Huddersfield? I don't know either. Right. I would be surprised if Saints come back in this one. It depends how they start the half. That's going to be important. The start of the half is huge. Who do you think will come up from the Championship? It's hard to say. I think right now, I had this conversation with my dad the other day. I think based on signings, teams are making signings because I think the teams that are coming up know that they're coming up. So based on signings, Bradford, York, London. So I think that's what they're going with. Well, I think that's what's going to happen. Wouldn't have minded Toulouse, and you would have got a French derby in there, but I don't mind it. Well, if Saints want to make the comeback, first of all, completion rate needs to be better. They need to be a lot more clear and clinical at the end of sets. They cannot turn the ball over on their own 20 and 30 again constantly when trying to spread the ball inside their own half. I don't mind the intent. I'm happy with their intent to move the ball. That's fine. But on the last tackle, if they're in the midfield, they've got to get the kick away. And they've got to start finding the corners, which they're not doing. Defensively, I think they've actually done a pretty good job. There's a couple moments where KR could have had some clean breaks, but they've just scrambled well enough to slow it down. So defensively, I think Saints have done pretty well, actually. Given, the fact they were a man down at one point, that to shift some things in the back line, I think they've done quite well. But yeah, it's just in possession is the biggest issue. You think Young will be really good in the Ashes? Maybe. I mean, assuming he'll be picked, he might not be. Because there are plenty of wingers over here that could be selected. But you'd imagine that Young would probably make the team. Need Wellesby and Lomax and someone else to score to catch up like we did to Rhinos. Absolutely. Just who's going to do it, though? I think Saints' best threat, first of all, Wormsley in a 1v1 against Mikey Lewis again would be huge, making meters down that right edge. But I think if they can if Saints, where I imagine it happening is Wormsley with the carry down the right edge into Mikey Lewis, making some good meters inside the midfield, getting a quick play of the ball, and then shifting it down the left edge, connecting Lomax and By and Wellesby together, and then possibly getting a break for cross down the left-hand side of the field. Possibly. That's where I see it coming from, if it is going to come from anywhere for Saints. Who do you fancy in this one? I think KR. I can't see them losing it from this point. It just depends what the start's like for Saints. Just depends on that. Of course, Kevin. Of course. It's never in doubt. It's never in doubt. Lewis was really good in Test Series. Well, he may be selected. Max Verstappen. I was qualifying, Max. Which team do you support in the Prem? I'm an Everton fan. I think I haven't mentioned this on the last stream, but during the off season, I will be doing some more like video game streams. So RL26, but I'm actually going to try and mix it up with some other stuff like COD because I'll get Black Ops 7 on Game Pass. And me and some mates, we played some ranked COD last year, and we actually really got into it. Like we properly, didn't sweat ranked, but we actually did some good stuff. It was actually kind of fun playing proper ranked, doing all the call-outs and stuff, learning spawns and all that, and rotations. It was actually really fun. So I'd like to do that again. Probably a bit of FC26, maybe pro clubs. So I'm actually going to do other stuff. I think I'll do Green Bay Packers watch-alongs for the NFL, because I'm a Packers fan. And possibly some Everton ones as well. Maybe some F1 streams. So I might mix it up in the off-season. Exciting stuff. But yeah, we've got the internationals to get to after this. It should be fun. I did post the Fiji Barty official squad for the Pacific Championships before. Hopefully, later on, once it's a better time over in the Pacific Island nations, it'll get some more views, because it's kind of it's languishing on 30 at the moment, which is not great. Wellesby can't start for Ashes? I don't know. I think he can. When's NRL final? That's tomorrow, Paul. 9:30 a.m. kickoff. But I think Wellesby could still be picked. Is like, who else do you go with at fullback? Because your other options include Will Price, but I don't know if he's injured. You could go with Broadbent, but I'm not sure for the Ashes. I'm not sure. You could go with Jake Connor if you want to put him at fullback. He's got experience there as well. Who else could you go with? Who else could you go with? I don't know. I think Wellesby just makes sense to me. Men vs boys at the moment, a little bit. 'Tis a smidge. You don't think John Stone will start? I don't think so either. You don't rate Wellesby? Interesting. I won't tell you my Ashes squad just yet, so I will make a video on it, but I do think every selection has a reasoning for it, a legitimate reason for it. Is Grand Final tomorrow? Yeah, the NRL Grand Final's tomorrow, Aiden. If Will Price is fit, so I'm telling you Will Price is not in my England squad because I don't think he's fit. If he is fit, he goes in, but I'm under the assumption that he's not going to be fit. When will you put the video on? I'll probably make it Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. He's broke his foot. Well, there you go then. There you go. %75% completion from Saints. 25 missed tackles, 5 errors as well. No play the balls in KR's 20. I think KR have had more play the balls inside Saints 20 than Saints have had play the balls in KR's half. Will Price not good enough for Ashes team end off? I highly disagree, Paul. Highly disagree. What time kickoff? 9:30 a.m. Aiden. Wellesby looks like an awkward player to defend against. With Wellesby, you got to keep in mind that spine for Saints has not been settled most of the year, and he's also had injuries to deal with. He's played at 1 and at 6, even at 13 for one of the games. So Wellesby is a good player. He just is a good player. But this year at Saints, he's not really been able to get settled much. Plus, last year Saints had a lot of injuries to deal with anyway, including one for Wellesby. Is that in the morning? Yes. 9:30 a.m. I don't know who Teabag is. I don't know who that is. Interested to see who gets the 2 wing spots. Well, I would of course have picked Matty Ashton as one of them. I know my 17 immediately. It's just the extras after that. I know exactly what my 17 is. T-Bad Boy is Cleary. Okay. Well, what's your issue with Nathan Cleary? I would say to keep in mind for the Ashes as well when the squad comes out. I think there's a chance that we're all going to be disappointed with it in some way. But if I'm building an Ashes squad, I think there are some things that you just can't change. Based on how we've played over the last few years against Samoa and Tonga, you just can't change some things. As much as some players are playing really well, it's just some things need to keep that stability. But there's other areas where you can bring in fresh blood. Knowles might play, he might do. But no Radley, certainly might do. Like, you could just straight up go for Connor and Lewis in the halves. You could do. You could easily do that. But at the same time, Wellesby, Williams and Smith, even when they've had good years and bad years, haven't put a foot wrong in the spine for England. And they've connected really well. So do you want to just remove that? You know, that's the most, what's the right word? Cohesive spine that we've got for England. Like, do you want to completely change that because Lewis has had a good year? Like, do you want to take Smith out for Lewis? You know, because of his tries, because of his assists this year? Like, it's understandable, I get it. But do you want to take Harry Smith's kicking game away? George Williams hasn't had a great year for Warrington, but Warrington's attacking structure is garbage. We've actually just got rid of Gleeson. I assume because of it, Gleeson is now gone. So, yeah, Warrington's attack has looked awful. So there's not much that Williams could really do in that. Plus, we've got the lightest pack in the league, basically. So there's not much Williams can do with that. But even when he's had bad years, he's played well for England. Even in good years, he's played well for England. And also defensively, Williams is quality. Will Wire be better next year? I think so. I think with Gleeson as the attacking coach, we were clueless this year. We did have a lot of injuries to deal with, and that didn't help with cohesion. But hopefully something a bit fresh in attack next year. Much bigger forward pack with the signings that we've made. I'd imagine we're at least better. Maybe not where we were last year. If we can get to at least that, that'd be good. But I think at least better. What game would this be in NRL? Oh, for God's sake, Alex. Yeah, I guess Storm versus... I'll go New Zealand Warriors for Saints. Because they're still a good side, but they're not that good. Aye, Tommy. I see it. That's alright, Alex. Don't worry about it. Getting back underway in a second now. I could probably maybe get on board with that, Finn. Anyway, we're back underway. Mikey Lewis with the kickoff, and Bai collects it, already slips over, and Saints take it just over the 10. What's your opinion on the game so far? I think it's been fine. It's not been the cleanest. It's nothing spectacular right now, but I think that the scoreline doesn't quite reflect the dominance of KR, but they do deserve the lead. St Helens up towards the 30 seconds gone. Now with Bell in centre field, out the back to Mbai. Now Wellesby pops up to Robertson. He's switched over to the left-hand side of the field. Sailor, right to Wellesby. Then to Delaney. Bit of room for Delaney here. Ooh, just stopped on the 40. Quick play the ball for Darryl Clark. Goes left to Wellesby. Hits the belly of the ball. That's not a great kick, that. Bounces once, twice, a couple times. Collected by Burgess on the 20. Get it in the air, lad. Get it in the air. When does halftime end? It is... I'm currently commentating. Next carry. Up towards the 40. No, they don't deserve the lead as they have had help from video ref. Yes, they do deserve the lead because they've been the most dominant side. Saints haven't had to play the ball inside the 20. KR's kept them pinned back. They've had more breaks. I think they do deserve the lead. Mikey Lewis with a kick on the last down the left edge towards the back left. This could go over the dead ball line. I think it did, or was it just in touch? They could check it. Oh, that was in touch. Not quite the dead ball line. Who do you want to win? I don't really care. I don't really care. Two minutes gone. Okay. 7 tackle set apparently, even though I thought... Alright, okay. Went out in touch, but I guess because it touched the pole in the corner, means it's dead in goal, I guess. So 7 tackle set for Saints. First carry, Lomax making about 5 metres. Now down the right edge with Wright. Up towards the 30. Down the short side right now to Lomax. Good meters over the 40. Good meters for Saints. He's now with Knowles. Spins. Stopped on halfway. Two more tackles to go in this set. Yeah, you're probably right, Finn, actually. So now with Bell in centre field. Pumping his legs over the 40. There's a strong carry there from James Bell. Off to Hull FC for next year. Fair few signings for Hull FC and Catalans, actually. It's right to Wellesby. Pops it up to Whitley. Now with cross down the right edge. He's been flummoxed. Saints have scored. 3 minutes into the second half. There is life in Saints. Oh no. Don't tell me it's happening again. Don't tell me it's happening again. So they swapped the centres and wingers. Let's have a look at this again. Lomax, Wellesby, pops it up. Whitley gets an offload to cross. Morg is absolutely flabbergasted. And this will be 12-4. Important kick here, because I don't know how many more tries Saints will get. Okay. Okay. Okay then, 12-4 with a kick to come. 4 minutes gone in the second half. St Helens finally get some points on the board. I kind of get the idea of swapping the wingers. So they've put Robertson and... Who else is playing on the wing here? What have they done with the... Is it Robertson on the wing? I'm not sure what they've done actually. I can't quite remember. But they basically swapped the wingers and centres. So... I think when Saints shift the ball down the left edge, they'll look a little bit more clean. Is Sailor on the wing? Okay. Kick from Lomax is... Oh, it's off the post, and it's in. Okay, 12-6. Back underway and bite. Hands it off to Delaney, sprinting straight at Martin. Slammed into the ground, 15 out from his own try line. So yeah, it will be Wellesby at fullback, Sailor on the wing with, I think, with Robertson, and then Mbai and Lomax in the halves, probably, I assume. Clark down the short side right. Lomax hands it off to right, over the 30. 5.5 minutes gone. Clark, now Lomax, then to Bell. Just short of his own 40. Shifting it left, Wellesby, then to Robertson, spins, stopped on halfway, last tackle for Saints. It's with him by, then to Sirinen, they got to get a kick away here, Sailor on the last. Plenty of height on this one, might have a contest here. I think that's a knock on from Wellesby, but it's collected by Morg on the 30. Davies takes a strong hit there. KR on their own 40. Are you doing the Pacific Champs? Yes, Finn. I plan to do all games. I've already done Fiji squad announcement. I'll do all the squad announcements and I'll do the predictions as well. It's with Hadley, then to Luckley over the halfway line. Last tackle coming up for the Robins. Lytton goes left to Lewis. Kicks towards the back left. Could be out on the full. It is out on the full. Oh dear. Oh dear. KR. Oh no. What are they doing? 7 minutes gone in the second half. Mikey Lewis with the kick out on the full. Turn over the ball in midfield. Oh no. Oh no. They were purely dominant in the first half. Throughout the entirety of that first half, pure dominance. And in the space of 7.5 minutes, they look seriously under pressure here. Seriously under pressure of losing this lead. Clark goes left to Mbai, then on his right to Wellesby, trying to skip past one, but he gets stopped on the 30 by Batchelor, and luckily he's there to help out, so is Whitbread. Clark in centre field goes right to Lomax, then to Bell. He's stopped on the 30, look for an offload. And it's a penalty for KR. Ball carrying arm touched the ground. Silliness. Silliness. That is fair enough. I don't know what he's thinking there. I don't know what he's thinking. So is this where KR get back into it? Maybe. So they kick to touch and they tap on their own 40. Martin with the first carry of this set just short of halfway. Simon says, come on KR, hope they win. We shall see. We shall see. Could come down to a drop goal maybe. Whitbread over halfway. Lytton in centre field. He'll go right to Minchella. He straightens up, takes a carry up towards St. Helens 40. Scooting and incorrect play the ball from Minchella, possibly. They do have a challenge. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, he just straight up falls over. I can't remember who it was that made the comment about Minchella like always stepping forward after I play the ball. Somebody pointed it out a few weeks back. I can't remember who it was. Chelsea beating Liverpool. All right. I was thinking it was you, Alex. It was either you or Finn. It was one of the regulars. I just wasn't sure who it was. But yeah. I haven't really been paying attention to that too much, but that's probably a result of what he tries to do. Saints in possession. Up towards halfway. Knowles bumps off one, then is eventually stopped. Clark with a scoop over the 40. Just over 30 metres out in centre field. 50 minutes gone. 30 minutes to go. Knowles, a dummy half, goes right to Lomax. Across to Wellesby. Launches it across to... I always use the wrong word. Like to Tavake. Cross to cross. Right to right. I always use the wrong word here. So now with Wellesby on the 20. Kicks cross field. Collected by Robertson. He is stopped a metre in front of the try line. And that's a turnover. But Saints could potentially pin the Robins back here. Well taken from Harry Robertson. Snatched it away from Hiku. May possibly tackling him in the air. I don't know. It's probably all right. They are slowly getting there indeed. They are. That could be a penalty for... on it. Yeah, there's an argument that was tackling the air, actually. On that angle, yes. But KR, just over their own 10, up towards the 20, few metres shy, 51 minutes on the clock, 3 tackles to go. The ball pops out. That's going to be penalty against Saints. They could challenge Wright's not asking for one. You cannot give away a penalty there. You just can't give away a penalty there. They choose not to challenge. That is ridiculous, Saints. That is ridiculous. We got another penalty for KR? We do. Yeah, Bell just takes someone out off the ball. 52 minutes gone. So back-to-back penalties against Saints. Silly mistakes. Really silly mistakes. See, the thing is, Saints were relatively like this against Leeds. Nowhere near as... Actually, they were better against Leeds. In some things. I think they've actually hit more lows and highs in this game, if I'm honest. But against Leeds, you would have thought this kind of stuff wouldn't fly. They got away with it. In this game, you'd think it wouldn't fly. They're still kind of getting away with it. If they get to the grand final, surely against Wigan, they can't get away with it again. Surely. Surely. KR in possession with 2 tackles to go. They're on St. Helens 30. 53 minutes gone. It's left to Mate. Pops it up to Reece Martin. Wonder if he'll play for PNG this year. We shall see. Slow to play the ball. Possibly hit high. Physio straight on the field. So it's just being looked after at the moment. Sitting up right now. Well, they'll have a gander. There's a swinging arm there. Oh, he comes down and hits his knee. So the first contact I'm not like that mad about, to be honest. It's not ridiculous. When he falls down, he hits Wright's knee. His head just goes right to his knee. So I think that's probably what the brunt of the force is. I get a penalty, that's fine. Yeah, it's okay. So, yeah, it is a penalty for a high tackle against Saints. Hull KR will go for 2. And it'll be Martin, about 25 metres out, in between the 2 hashes on the left. To make it a 2-score game again. So it'll be an important kick, this. Okay, Reece Martin to make it 14-6 to Hull KR with 54 minutes and 30 seconds gone. Success probability, according to Norman Finkelstein, is 85%. The kick is... Oh, it's no good. I think, did the wind pick that up about halfway through? I think the wind might have had something to do with that. Not too sure. Nice one, yes. Thank you, Finn. Go on, Norman. So it is a 20 metre to drop out. I do not like that rule personally. I would change it. I would absolutely change it. It should not be a 20 metre dropout. Indeed, Simon. Indeed. Mental. I think if you get a penalty, if you choose to go for points, you haven't chosen territory, you've chosen points, and you miss, you shouldn't get the ball back, in my opinion. Warrior Hargreaves has possession, but then loses it. The Saints will have possession in midfield. They will challenge it, though. All right, let's have a look at this. Oof. Okay, well, there you go. Penalty for KR. Very quick. So I don't think Wormsley's put a hand on the ball there. I don't know. I don't actually think that that's a penalty, if I'm honest. I don't actually think it is. Because he's pulling his arm away, but he doesn't put his hand on the ball. It's basically there. It's the wrist. So, I don't know. Anyway, there's penalty for KR. They are on Saints 30. In centre field, then left to May. They'll switch back to Martin. Just over 56 minutes gone. Lewis straightens up, takes the carry up towards St. Helens 20. 2 tackles left in this set. They could go for 1 if they wanted to. Maybe not on this set, but soonish. To make it that 2-score game. They could do. Lytton, 15 metres out. I would actually just go for 1 here. But I don't mind them still going for points. I don't mind it. Kick towards the back left from Lewis. Wellesby goes up. It is batted backwards by KR. Switch back to, I think that's Lewis. And he will be stopped 2 metres short of the try line. Do you prefer 13s like Asiata or 13s playing as a third prop? More like Asiata. I think hybrids are probably a little more useful. Like with Knowles, we had this conversation a few months back. Some of you might remember. We talked about players that are bruisers and players that are hybrids. I put Knowles in the bruiser category, but I think in recent weeks I've seen him more as a hybrid. He does take a lot of carries. I think that's part of his role for Saints, because that's one of their best assets. They want to just give their forwards carries. But I do see Knowles as a little bit more of a hybrid these days. He's left to Wellesby. Up towards the 30 now with Robertson. Wrapped up by May. That's a good tackle. Last tackle for Saints. It's with him by. Then to Lomax. Kicks from his own 30. Plenty of height on this one. 58 minutes gone. Collected on the full by Burgess. Up towards the 40. Mikey Lewis. Hands it off to... It was Gildart, then to Davies. He's still going. Makes some extra meters there. Good stuff from Davies. Plays it for Morg. On the second tackle, he'll scoot from dummy half. Over halfway. 58.5 on the clock. Litton on his right to Warrior Hargreaves. Straightens up with a carry up towards St. Helens 40. 2 tackles to go in this set. Litton. Left to Minchella. Switches back to Martin. He straightens up into Knowles. Wormsley and Clark both there to help out. They bring him down just short of St. Helens 30. Last tackle for KR. Short side left to Mikey Lewis. Inside pressure from, I think that was Knowles. Kicks towards the back left, collected by Cross. And he'll play this just over his own 10. They launch it to him by, putting him under pressure there. Wellesby at dummy half. Scooting up towards the 10. Saints with a long way to go. Gets an offload. It's with Clark. Then to right. Just makes up a few more metres down the right edge of the field. 3 tackles to go. Saints could try and spread the ball there if they want to. But Cross will just hit the next carry. Stop just short of the 20. God, Saints need to find something here. So down the right edge. Wormsley. Up towards the 30, still going. God, he's so good. I hope he plays for England this year. But again, in my head, he retired from international because he's not been in the squad for the last couple of years when he easily could have been. But I don't know. I don't know. There's KR in possession on their own 40. Hiku with a carry up towards the halfway line. Stevens is now on for Saints as well. And we're done with an hour of this game. We've entered the final quarter. How can you retire something you're not in? Well, you just say that you take yourself out of contention. Well, surely Wellesby would be picked for England because he's played for England in the past, I'm pretty sure, and for Great Britain. So, but I don't know why he's not been in the squad in the last few years. What did Hiku say? I'm not sure. I did not hear it. But yeah, penalty for dissent against KR. St. Helens will tap and go from the 40. Wormsley with the first carry. Up towards the 30. And by on his right to Knowles. Straightens up. Yeah, truth in. And the back to Wellesby. And the ball pops out. Batchelor collects. Now with Litton. Then to Lewis. Looking left. Takes it over the 20. 61.5 minutes gone. So Mbai went out the back to Wellesby. And just dropped the ball. I thought it was the hit that made him lose it. But no, he'd lost it beforehand. Burgess plays this for Litton. Then hands it off to Gildart on his left. It's going to be 62 minutes on the clock. Davies with the latest carry over the 40. 3 tackles to go. 18 minutes left in this game. Scoot from Litton. Good meter. Space behind the ruck. Nearly up towards Saints 40. Morg. Right to May. Had an option on his right, but he's still going. Bumping off players left, right and centre. Straightens up now, about 25 metres out. Quick play the ball for Jez Litton. Left to Mikey Lewis on the last. Chips towards the back left. Cross underneath this one. Goes up, knocks on, collected by Gildart in the back left corner. And that's going to be a try for the Robins. Got a chance that seals it. Unless there's a knock on from the Robins in there somewhere. This should be a try. But video ref will check. On-field decision is a try, but the video ref will have a look. So yeah, I'm confident that there's a Dion Cross knock on there, but did KR drop the ball as well? Right, everyone's on side. Right, let's see. So Burgess goes up. Oh, maybe that comes backwards off Burgess, actually. Mate, this might just be backwards from Burgess and that's all good. This is going to be tough to tell. That touches Burgess' hand. Does it then touch Cross's hand? That's the question. Right, well that's backwards from Burgess. Alright, well that is going to be a try. That is going to be a try. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. It's going to be 16-6. I can't really see Saints coming back now. I can't see it. The crowd's ready for it. And it is a try. 16-6 with a kick to come. Morg with an important kick near the touchline. Gildart with the try. Right, well, let's have a look at this kick then. Be Reece Martin going for the kick, even though Morg's been nailing him. Aside from one, I think he missed. Well, Reece Martin's already missed one. Okay, Reece Martin from the touchline. 64 minutes gone, steps up, and the kick is no good. No good. I don't know why they took Morg off them. Unless he's like, you know, done something to his legs so he can't really kick properly. I don't know, but Morg's been fine. He's been fine. Anyway. Saints 10 points down. Can they even score another 10 points? I don't know. They might have one more try in them if they chuck the ball around. But can they find two? I'm not sure. Well, they did it against Leeds anyway. Can they do it against KR? There was a period early in this half. First 8 minutes or so, they looked on top. Jez Litton on the 10, hands it off to Hiku on his right, up towards the 20. Third tackle for the Robins. 65 minutes on the clock, 15 minutes to go. It's with JWH, JW, H. Up towards the 30. Plays it for Jez Litton. Left to Minchella. Stopped by Mozimbai. Lees is there to help out. Let's have a look at Minchella play this ball. Does he step forwards afterwards? A little bit. Out and back to Michael Lewis on the last tackle. Kicks from his own 30. Bounces once and collected by Cross. And he can take this up towards the 40. So this is a good place to start the set. He's actually dragged back a couple of metres. Martin's been on from the start, hasn't he? I thought Martin started the game. No, he was on the bench. My bad. Next carry from Stevens, pumping his legs up towards a 40. Plays for Daz Clark in centre field. Now in Knowles, out the back to Lomax. Steps and he's wrapped up just short of halfway. 14 minutes to go. Clark. Now shifting it left and by. Pops it up to Sirinen. Takes it over halfway. Oof, Minchella comes in late. Bloody hell. He's left to him by. Gets the kick away on the last tackle. We have a contest. Saylor collects it. But he's going to be stopped 25 out from the try line. And that's where they'll turn the ball over for St. Helens. Or for Hull KR, I should say. So KR in possession. Davies for the first carry of this set up towards a 30. May. Left to Sue up towards the 40. 13 minutes to go. Litton goes left to Martin. Up towards halfway. Litton goes right to Minchella. Then to May. Out the back to Morg. Bit of room to run here, maybe trying to get an offload. He does, but it is collected by Saylor. Hands it off to him by, and he is stopped on his own 40. Wellsby doesn't really make much ground there. Right to Lomax. Then to Lees down the right edge of the field. Saints not really making much ground here. They're in midfield, but they're not really getting inside KR territory. Shifting it left now, though. Lomax straightens up into Batchelor. Minchella's there to help out. And he's stopped on halfway. 12 minutes to go. Can Saints score soon to make it game on? Possibly. Sirenen with a carry down the left edge. Wants to get an offload, but too many defenders there to stop him. And then he loses the ball anyway. Batchelor still going. They clip his ankles. He takes it over halfway. Litton left to Davies. On Saints 40. It's now with Broadbent. Straightens up, takes a carry. It's now left to Minchella. Cross to May. Now Lewis. Lomax with a strong tackle there. Gets a quick play of the ball for Gildart. And it's a penalty for KR. Mate. Is there any need? Is there any need? Do we even need to give that as a penalty? Can we not just play on? So they don't go for two. They will tap and go. 15 metres out. It's with Minchella. Then to Sue. Stopped about 13 metres out right at the post. Litton goes left to May. Launched it across. Great ball. Gildart steps back inside, stops on the 10. Never right off the Saints? Well, I suppose. I do think if KR score again, that is it. but we will see. May is stopped on the 10, closer to the sticks, but still left of them. Litton goes right to Minchella, switches back to Hadley. He takes it over the 10. Last tackle, Litton in centre field. Left to May. Then Lewis, 3-on-2 here possibly. Gildart, bit of room to run, spins, puts the ball down. That's game over. Surely that's game over. They have been the better side. Saints had a chance early in this half. Too many mistakes. Too many stupid moments. KR been the dominant side for most of the game. They get a fair few penalties in this half as well. And they punish Saints for it. Yeah, that'll be game over. That'll be 20 points to 6. Okay then. They despise Wigan, but they better ruin KR next week. Gildart with 2 today. So we have 8 minutes 20 to go. Is that enough time for 3 tries? I don't think so. Well, it is enough time because anything can happen if Saints start launching the ball around. But for this Saints side, not really. But you never know. The thing is, you can't really rule it out, can you? Because as much as you can say this Saints team is not scoring 3 tries in 10 minutes or 3 tries in 8 minutes, nobody thought Lee would beat Wigan 1-0 in round 1. Nobody. And what happened at the end of last week's game for Leeds vs Saints? People knew it could happen, but nobody really thought it would. So, I'm just not ruling it out, actually. I do think KR's won this one, but I'm not completely ruling it out. I'll give him a 1% chance. And the kick from Martin is... hits the post. Well, it's a 14-point game, so possibly Saints only need 2 tries then, and then maybe there's a penalty that comes their way later on. Maybe. See, why take off Morg? He was already doing well with the kick. I get Martin doing it when he comes on, but Morg was already nailing it. But he is on the sidelines at the moment. Oof, yeah, the hit from Knowles. Yeah, that's fair enough. He's on the bench, so yeah. Makes sense with Martin. Saints go with a short kick-off. Burgess has room to run. Robertson cutting across Burgess. Okay, well now I think it's definitely done. But they want to check it. Of course they want to check it. We'll have a look. Let's have a look. I just kind of missed it. I saw Burgess collect the ball and then just go. That's all I saw. And there may actually be an escort in there. I'm not convinced it's escorting, but... Oh, this will be Saints' ball. Game on. I'm not going to call it game on just yet. I think if Saints score immediately, then would I say game on then? I think if Saints can score, like, in a second, then I might say game on. What for? Escorting. Player cutting across to take somebody out. I'm okay with that because Martin wasn't really near the ball. Okay, Saints have had one play the ball inside the 20. Jesus Christ, one compared to Hull KR's 27. Oh my God. Okay, 6.5 minutes to go, folks. 14-point advantage for KR. Saints need to score in this set, basically. They go left to him by 20 metres out. Out the back to Lomax. Jammed into by May. Gets him to ground. 2 tries and a pen. Well, they can't rely on a pen. If they get one, fair enough, but they can't rely on it. It is with Knowles. Stop just short of the 20. They've actually lost ground here. Saints attack is not good, is it? 6 minutes to go. Clark, right to Walmsley. Straightens up. He's going to play this just short of the 10. Slightly right of the post. Darryl Clark looking to his left. Left to Mbai. Draws one in. Robertson has room here. Robertson is in. Is this game on? I don't know. They want to check it. Do they want to check obstruction or something like that? I'm okay with obstruction because the player just jammed in. I didn't see any obstruction. Unless I missed somebody to the inside of the field, I don't know. But I thought somebody just jammed in. No, that's all good. That is all good. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's close enough for the conversion as well, so I think that's going to be 12 in a second. I think that's all good. Robertson with the grounding, and it is all good. Okay, there we go. This is going to be a try. I've given the conversion because I think it's close enough for Lomax to get. He does actually need to get it, and it is windy, so I probably should have waited, but we'll see. I'd like to know if the voluntary tackle being penalised is still in effect. I'll get to that in a second. The kick is... It's good. It is good. As you've seen it in this game, Tristan Saylor and many other games. I don't know. I feel like they've kind of gone away from that, to be honest, Paul. So it is an 8-point game. God, if only we had the 2-point drop goal, eh? Oh yeah, as you say that, Finn, as you say that. 5 minutes to go. I kind of want to call it game on, but at the same time I don't. I think if Saints score again, then I'll call it game on, but the game is half on. Pending a try from Saints. It's half on. That's what I'll call it. Shifting it right. Across to Lomax. That's a good tackle there. They did have the numbers down the right edge, so if they launched it over the top, maybe there could have been something. Wellesby down the right edge. Hands it off to right. Up towards the 40. 3 tackles to go in this set for Saints. 4.5 minutes to go. Martin taking his time to get off him. Now with Wellesby. So KR need to be careful here. If they want to slow down the ruck, that's fine, but they can't give away 6 agains and just let Saints get up the field. The carry from Sirinen takes it over the 40. 2 tackles to go for Saints. Clark, right to Bell. Out the back to Mbai. Space down the right if he wants to launch it. He's still going. Mbai up towards the 40. Last tackle for Saints, 4 minutes to go. Clark, left to Bell. Out the back to Lomax. Out the back to Wellesby. Needs to get the ball away. Flicks on to Robertson. He's still going. We saw what he did against Leeds. Needs an offload. Got one. Knocked backwards by Siren and then collected by Elliot Minchella. Bell shooting in there. 3.5 minutes to go. Anything left in the tank for Saints to maybe do something? It is now with Hiku bumping players off up towards the 40. Litton on his right to Batchel up towards the halfway line. 2 tackles to go for the Robins. Litton down the right edge of the field. Minchella stopped on halfway, doesn't make much ground there. May out the back to Lewis. Drills it low. Mbai knocks it back. Somebody needs to pick it up. He hands it off to Saylor. Launches it right to Wellsby. There's a wall of defenders. Kicks across field there. There's a chase. Can cross-collect it. He does. Over halfway. That's a good kick and chase there. Wants a quick play the ball. Whitley. God, that's put Saints in great territory. It's now with Bell. Inside KR territory. Could do with an offload. Gets one to Clark. Carries up towards the 40. My God, if Saints score on this set. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Mbai. 30 metres out. Wanted to go right. Wormsley was slightly ahead of him. Siranen kicks the ball through. What are you doing? What on earth are you doing? This is the kind of stupidity we've seen from Saints all day. All day. What are you doing? You are a second rower. Know your role. What are you doing? Broadbent up towards the 30. Utter stupidity. Hickey with a carry up towards the 20. 90 seconds to go. 4th tackle. Litton scoots. Makes a few metres there. 15 metres out. Broadbent kicks to touch. Chelsea 9+6 winner against Liverpool. Really? Oh, it is? Damn, okay. Finally, a taste of their own medicine. Mwah, Get in. Tyrone May with man of the match. Fair enough, he's been alright. Fairly stable. Kicking in chairs on a restaurant table. Saints trying to shift the ball, but there is a mistake as they shift it. 45 seconds to go. Jeff says this is justice. The Saints shouldn't have been in this game. Leeds should have been there, but for the incompetence of the video ref, this result is poetry. Well, it's not Saints' fault that they were given the points. It's not their fault. "15 seconds to go. Taking the time to play this. And with 5 seconds left. 20 points to 12. That is going to be... The clock stopped with 3 seconds to go. For God's sake. Is it not a penalty for running down the shot clock? Like, is it not? Is it not a penalty for that? Anyway. Actually, I wouldn't mind if KR score a try here. I wouldn't mind if they score. And Jez Litton kicks the touch. You horrible man. Anyway, full time. I did say 24-12 to KR, so I wouldn't have minded if they scored. Okay, KR get it done. 20 points to 12. Been impressed with Harry Robertson in this game. His defence is really good. And he is good going forwards. Definitely an option for England in the Ashes. I think he's in the conversation, but I don't know if I'd take him. I think there's other centres that I would prefer. Okay, well... Saints had their moment, sort of first 8 minutes or so in the second half. They looked like they got on top of KR. All the good work that KR did in the first half, absolutely dominant, pinning Saints back constantly. It just felt like it was undone in that first 8 minutes of the second half. And then eventually, penalties crept into Saints' game, a lot of errors as well. They had a lot in the first half, but there was some in the second half as well, but penalties on top of it.
and it just allowed KR to get back into the game. They started pinning Saints back more. They had to force the ball wide a little bit more to get up the field. And Saints, they had their moments, but KR in control for, at worst, an hour of the game. But it's probably more than that, but in control for an hour at worst. But yeah, KR fully deserving of that win. Saints putting a good shift at times. Good effort through the middle. They just couldn't slow down the progress of KR, and just a few too many errors. Just didn't execute the basics well enough sometimes. Kicking game was a bit poor at times as well. I know the win didn't help, but KR looked like they were fine. But because they won the battle through the middle, they didn't have to worry about the long-range kicking as much as St Helens anyway, I suppose. But yeah, KR fully deserving of the win. They'll play Wigan in the grand final. Should be a cracker. Just imagine for 1 second KR win the treble. Okay. Done. Right. So, I'm going to call it a day there. Do you want to say thank you for stopping by? I will be streaming the NRL Grand Final tomorrow. That stream starts at 9:15 a.m. The game starts at 9:30 a.m. So hopefully, see plenty of people there. Never know what numbers we'll get. Could be insane. Could be absolutely insane. Okay. Alex is 24-6 to Wigan. Getting in the loss in early, I see. Okay, well, thank you for stopping by. Shameless plug, real quick. If you want to subscribe, please do. Trying to hit 13k, that's the next target. I'm at 12,844. Honestly, could hit it tomorrow. Like, that is a possibility. If you want to stay up to date with the Pacific Championships, I've uploaded a video of the Fiji Barty squad. They've announced their squad for the Pacific Championships. Go watch that. Leave a like if you could. If you want to stay up to date and informed with some of the players that will be playing in that comp, go and have a gander at that. That'd be great. But yeah, if you'd like to become a member, there's a link in the description. Just click that. Join the Patreon. And yeah. Hopefully I'll see plenty of people tomorrow. Hopefully. Should be a good game. Should be a cracker. I've made a little intro as well for the stream tomorrow. I might do like the try transition things. I'm not too bothered about doing it, but I've made a little bit of an intro, which I might play tomorrow. Okay. Right. That's going to be it. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I'll see you for the grand final tomorrow morning. Toodle pip.